It's time for the Double J podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. Your wrestling news and commentary. Here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us for another edition of the Double J Podplex. I am Jeremy, and here with me is my co-host Jimmy. Jimmy, what's good?
Well, I'll tell you what's good is the fact that son of a bitch Roman Reigns didn't end up coming away going to the main event at WrestleMania.
That is good. That is good. You know, it's to me it's a shame that he gets all this crap.
But he gets all this crap. And this is the first time I can honestly say I agree with it.
Yes, I agree with it. Yes, I do. Although I do like Roman Reigns, but I do agree with the crap this time. I do.
You know, it's truly management and I don't know if it's Vince personally pushing Roman Reigns down your throat right now.
Right.
I mean, it's just at pick 30. You know, at 30.
Yeah.
The last entrant in the Rumble.
Yeah, that was questionable.
Dear God, man. You didn't have Finn Balor. You didn't have Samoa Joe. You didn't have Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Right. I was expecting more legends.
You had another hoe.
I was expecting more legends.
Right.
In this surprise entrance.
What legends did they have? Besides Taker, Goldberg, and Lesnar. I mean,
they had Mark Henry. I mean, if you consider him,
I guess if you
a
would
legend,
consider that, yeah. But I mean,
yeah.
I don't know, man. I didn't mean to get on a mini rant, but that did
right. Yeah. But we'll get into that later in the show. But again, welcome to the show. We're gonna discuss our thoughts on the matches for the Royal Rumble that just happened, and then we're gonna discuss a little bit of Raw.
Some were actually pretty good.
Yes, some were good. Some were good. And we're going to discuss all that. So let's get to it. So Royal Rumble. Overall, I thought the pay-per-view was pretty good.
Overall, yes.
It was pretty good. I liked it. And surprisingly, in my opinion, the most disappointing match of the night was the actual Royal Rumble.
Well, what would you say if you had to grade the entire pay-per-view?
The entire pay-per-view?
If you had to give it a grade.
I would give it, a C+. A C+, B-. Somewhere.
Okay. That's about what I would give it. I think, honest to God, Cena, AJ, and Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns saved the show.
Yes, they did.
In all honesty.
They did.
And other things we're going to talk about. But those two things certainly saved the show.
Yes. So the first match, that was in the pre-show was, the women's little match they had with Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Naomi.
You basically said that right. You basically.
Yeah.
There was nothing to be gained from it, man. It was just basically something to introduce Mickie James.
Just another match to put on the card.
Yeah.
Really.
Hopefully, because SmackDown's women's division has been destroying Raws.
You think so?
Regardless of the fact that you have Bayley and you have Sasha Banks and you have Charlotte. The work that Alexa Bliss has done, bringing in Mickie James, Becky Lynch is who she has been in the beginning.
Right.
I think they overall are better roster person by person, as well as Natalya.
Yeah.
But there was nothing to be gained.
No, there wasn't.
And I think it will change.
Having
having a veteran like Mickie James, I think it will change. But
yeah, I would like it to change, really.
But we didn't see anything.
It was just something to kind of fill time a little bit.
To be honest, I was actually still sleeping when it came on. Yeah, I awoke when this next match happened.
Right, and that was the tag team, the Raw Tag Team Championship match.
That's right.
Between the champions Cesaro and Sheamus, and they were taking on Luke Gallows, and Anderson.
That's right. I was so sure that they were going to allow Cesaro and Sheamus to trample over him one more time. And I was so sure that they would bury the club that I didn't even watch the damn match.
Oh, no. I knew Gallows and Anderson were going to win this time. I had a feeling.
I was legitimately woken up by yelling and screaming in my front room because the club are your new Raw Tag Team Champions.
I think I mentioned this in a previous episode. I'm shocked it took them this long to win the tag titles. I thought they would have won them sooner.
Yeah, me too. I think it was a little bit of skepticism, as far as Vince goes. Also, I just now realized I have trouble saying the word skepticism. I don't know if you just heard that nice little mess up, but you say tomato, I say potato, whatever.
Right. Yo ma.
Yo.
Yeah. That was one of the probably few Seinfeld references that that's something we discussed prior to the show. We were watching Seinfeld, and that's one of our favorite shows. And I was like, I think each episode we'll just kind of throw in a Seinfeld reference.
Yeah, you have to. You just yo ma.
Just to make just to make Jimmy laugh. You know what I mean?
It does. It makes me enjoy the vibe in this man cave in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yes. We are here at the man cave, and so, but yeah, I'm, I was just, it was a matter of time before Anderson and Gallows were going to win those titles, but, so they won, and then the next, pre-show match was Nia Jax, easily defeating Sasha Banks, who, now is she is legitimately hurt? Yeah? Or no?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. I think, the thing about Sasha Banks, and this was Vince's biggest, knock on her, is because she is a little injury prone. And she can get injured quite badly. If you recall, during WrestleMania, Charlotte wanted to do a moonsault off of the top of the damn cage onto Sasha Banks on the announce table. The reason that didn't happen is because Vince was scared to death that Sasha would get hurt. And that has been a problem ongoing. And it's not in any way a knock on her. She's great at what she does.
Yes.
But that has always been a worry. And going up against somebody as big as Nia Jax, you might have laid on it wrong or something,
Yeah, possible. But yeah, she is, kind of walk around with that hurt leg.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
And I like what they're doing with her right now. They're kind of turning her heel. How she's been kind of snappy with Bayley, and Bayley's just being Bayley.
Well, Bayley's never going to be a heel, but
right, yeah, right. I don't. Yeah.
But as far as Sasha, I mean, she had great matches and great just performances all the way around. Maybe promos, cutting great promos, whatever. Maybe in NXT when she was a heel.
Yeah.
And she's one of those people who I do actually like as a face, but she is a phenomenal heel. She is a better heel than Charlotte is.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. If you go back and look at a little bit of NXT, but Charlotte really wasn't that much of a heel in NXT.
Yeah,
so
I remember
that's kind of the
yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
She was, somebody who everybody loved because she was the heir apparent to Rick.
Right.
So that was something to pay attention to.
Right.
But as far as Nia Jax and Sasha Banks go, it was every bit of a pre-show match.
Yeah. And I think they're probably on the way to really pushing Nia Jax. Maybe she'll have a shot at Charlotte's title. Unless, actually Bayley is still, I guess, kind of in the running for the number one contender for that.
What, at least in my opinion, what would make sense? I think Charlotte does lose it eventually. Charlotte's not going to keep it forever.
No.
However, she'll be in the runnings for it as long as she wants to. But I think a lot of people think this way. I think Bayley does win it at WrestleMania. Another crowning Daniel Bryan type of moment.
Right, yeah, I completely agree.
They are pushing Nia Jax. And I
are.
think the fact of if Bayley beats Charlotte, okay, she's on the top of that mountain. What's next? And that's the perfect thing. And they did the same damn thing with Daniel Bryan. David versus Goliath type of thing.
Yeah.
Except for this would be Danielle versus, I don't know, Golitha. I don't know what a
Right,
Goliath woman would be. Anyway.
Right.
But,
Golitha.
that would be the next thing for Bayley. So,
yeah,
it makes sense.
Right. So, but yeah, Nia Jax easily defeated Sasha Banks in that match. It was, that was just complete annihilation on her part. And so, we had 4 other matches aside from the Royal Rumble match itself. One of them, just who we were talking about, Charlotte Flair and Bayley. Charlotte Flair defeated her to retain her Raw Women's title.
It's like I knew that match was coming up next. I don't know.
Yeah. But and something we saw from Charlotte was bloodshed. If you remember she was bleeding from her mouth.
I thought you were going to actually say we saw her Adam's apple, but I guess we're not.
I mean, we saw that too.
Okay,
we saw that too.
So that basic. We ain't doing the whole. Anyway, but go on.
But yeah, and Bayley put up a good fight. I think just like you said, her time will come where
absolutely,
and I'm sure it's WrestleMania where she will beat Charlotte. For the title.
I think it would be perfect. Although I don't remember the exact number, but this is said over and over again. I want to say 11 straight times, or it might be 13 straight times that Charlotte Flair has won on a pay-per-view.
Right.
So yet again, records are made to be broken.
That's right.
But does that mean more than catapulting Bayley as the face of the women's division?
Does it mean more?
As far as Vince and Triple H, etc., pulling the trigger on Bayley and saying, you're not that they're saying she's the end-all, be-all, but you are going to be the champion. You are going to be the face of the women's division. Mm-hmm. Does that trump Charlotte retaining her streak? Because they're big on streaks. So.
Yes, they are. Yes. I mean, I think it's just 2 different things, I mean, Charlotte will always have that streak. I think it's just 2 different things to compare, I guess,
She'll always have the streak, and she's young and she's going to have a long career ahead of her.
Yes.
So it's not like she's going to win, 200, pay-per-views in a row. That's not going to happen.
No.
So, but it is a good thing for her to have kind of in the beginning of her career, because a lot of, maybe people who they're promoting here or there will go with all these wins and then eventually lose. Right. Rusev did it,
Goldberg,
obviously, yeah.
Right.
So, but it's going to
Taker.
be interesting. And of course, Taker at Mania. It's going to be, and we've talked about how much that sucked in that moment when Taker lost in New Orleans. But
yes, you could hear a pin drop in the Silver Dome.
It was eerie. Yeah, in the Silver Dome. Poor Hogan, man.
This isn't the first time he actually brought this up.
It's really not, and it's not going to be the last either.
No,
look,
of course not.
The thing about it, and you can give Hulk Hogan a pass if he did it once. Slip of the tongue, no big deal.
Right.
But he did it multiple times.
Yeah, he did it twice.
New Orleans is not Detroit. We're not the same city.
Well, no. I guess in certain aspects, no.
Okay, maybe crime-wise,
yes.
but
right. But yeah. So Charlotte won that match. It was a good match too. I really did enjoy it. And then after that one was the Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns match. Now that one, that was one of the 2 matches that really made this pay-per-view good.
Right.
I mean, I remember when Kevin Owens was setting up that little chair pyramid thing he was doing.
Yeah.
I was like, what is he doing?
Yeah,
and I knew,
aggravated me, man.
And I knew Kevin Owens was going through that.
Yes. Yeah, he was
without a doubt
building his own grave, so to speak.
Right.
But it aggravated me because I was watching him. It may have also aggravated me because I had a couple beers. But he was building a chair pyramid, as and then he walked away from it.
Right.
And it aggravated me, man. It's like, did you just back out of it? Like, I know he didn't, but I feared that he might have.
Right. And see, I can't remember which pay-per-view it was. And I think Kevin Owens set something up outside of the ring. Like, it was like tables and he went through it at the end. Do you know which pay-per-view I'm talking about? And I think because it was something that he set up.
Oh my gosh, that wasn't too long ago. That wasn't too long ago.
No. But I remember it was like right outside one of the turnbuckles. It was like table on top of table, something like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what match that was.
I can't remember who he fought.
Hopefully, maybe somebody can bring that to our attention, but I'm not. I'm not 100% sure. But I do remember him going through like 2 tables.
Yeah, so this isn't the first time Kevin Owens has done something.
No, he's extreme. He's
like
hardcore.
This, you know,
he's Ring of Honor,
and that is a big dude to be taking all the falls like that.
Oh,
you know,
man, is it?
But and then on top of that, you know, he did a frog splash on top of Reigns on that table, which
so cool. So cool.
That was
man.
really good. That was
so damn cool. For
really,
somebody his
really
size
cool.
to move that way, honestly, for somebody my size to move that way is pretty incredible.
Right. Right.
That move he used to do when he first came to WWE, that when he was on the top turnbuckle, it was some type of
wait, it was like when he kind of like it was like almost like a suplex thing where he twists you like that. Is that what you're talking about?
Not that, although I forgot about that too. But it was it was like a high flying move. It was like it wasn't a swanton. It was like a mixture of Adrian Neville's Red Arrow type of thing.
Oh, okay.
It was like a high flying.
So I remember that.
Yeah, it was very brief, not too long, and of course he has the pop up power bomb, which is great. But he introduced another move to try to put Roman Reigns away. Did you notice that?
That's right. He did the I don't want to say the Stone Cold Stunner.
No. Yeah, you can't.
It's not the Stone Cold Stunner. Do you know why? Because he didn't kick him first.
That's true.
He did not kick him. He just went straight for the stunner.
That's right. There was no kicking involved. You got to kick if you're Stone Cold.
Yes. Which he's not Stone Cold.
No human being on this planet will ever be Stone Cold.
No. Oh, hell no.
And that includes Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's right. That is correct. But yeah, that was a really good match. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, again, it was one of those matches where people were just booing Reigns. You know,
booed the hell out of him.
Obviously, but again,
there was nothing to how they booed Reigns later on.
Right? Oh yeah. There was no doubt everyone booed Reigns when he was entered number 30.
I think people even cheered for him, booed him at that point.
Yeah, that one. That was a head scratcher right there.
I will say, although it's starting to seem a little stale on Raw, yet you have 4 main guys. You have Rollins, you have Reigns, you have Owens, and you have Jericho.
Right.
And I guess Strowman, quote unquote. But I'd love to say Sami Zayn in that mix. But
me too.
It's almost getting stale. But with that said, they had a hell of a championship match.
Yes, they did.
Even though we've seen this movie before, we've seen Reigns Owens, we've seen it.
Yeah.
But it was still a hell of a match.
You know, it's like, you know, when I watch Seinfeld,
right? I
could watch the same episode over and over and over again. I will laugh every time I see it. Right. So just like this, you know, Owens and Reigns, they will put on a good show. They really will. And they have never failed to do that. So that was a good match.
Well, Roman Reigns in general has never really failed to put on a good show when he's in a match.
Right.
You know, it's just I think the force push of him that is driving people insane. So.
Right. So moving on, we had the Cruiserweight Championship match, between Rich Swann and Neville.
Yeah, I was, I think probably on the floor by this point after a couple high balls. So you might want to let me know what happened in that match.
Well, Neville won.
Neville, yeah, that's right. Neville
obviously.
Neville did.
I was probably eating a slice of pizza during this match, or maybe stuffing my face with 2 or 3 slices of pizza. You know?
See, the funny thing is, on a normal Sunday night around that time, I may have been on the floor because of a couple highballs or a couple martinis or something, but I was awake because this is Royal Rumble, damn it.
You're right.
So I was awake and I was watching the match, and let me tell you, Adrian Neville, I'm going to use his complete name because for some reason WWE frowns upon that, so, you know. Adrian Neville has looked the best character-wise than he's ever looked.
Yes.
Period. Yes, and it goes back to NXT. He is the man right now.
Yeah, the heel turn was definitely a good move on WWE's part.
He as a heel is great, and he's forcing somebody like Rich Swann to get frustrated and furious and develop himself
Yes.
to somebody you're going to root for.
Yes. Now again, I've discussed this, I think, in the last episode. It's just, to me, I enjoy watching cruiserweights. I do. Just for some reason, I just doesn't really, it doesn't grab me.
Well, it's the thing about it, the matches that do grab you, are matches with guys with big names.
Right.
Big time storylines.
Right.
But in all honesty, the storyline can be as good as it wants to be. The main thing is the big names. So you have to create these guys into big name characters.
Yeah.
Hence, Rey Mysterio.
Yes.
Was a cruiserweight. Hence, Jericho.
Jericho, yes.
Hence,
At one point he was
Chavo Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn. That was names that you gave a damn about. Chris Benoit for a while. That was, I believe Eddie Guerrero too was a cruiserweight.
Yeah, I would think.
So, those are names that they made into legends.
Yes.
I'm not saying that it needs to be that big, because, you only have one segment to even concentrate on the cruiserweights.
Right.
But maybe 205, since they're featuring them on a, maybe 205 turns into this segment that makes you, appreciate them much more.
Yeah. I probably do have to check it out. I mean, I just gotta watch it maybe.
I'm sure it's action. I'm sure you'd enjoy it, as far
I mean,
as the
don't be
wrestling
wrong.
style.
I enjoy the in-ring ability, the
Yes.
in-ring, athleticism and all that
Right.
stuff. I don't know, just something about it. I can't quite get all focused on it.
Well, it's the thing about WWE is it's not all about wrestling.
It's
It's
right.
about
You're right.
entertainment. It's about
You're right.
putting on a show, and that is on both sides.
Yeah.
In and out the ring. So, however, one guy I did want to bring up, speaking of the cruiserweights, was our British buddy Jack. See, now I'm gonna forget his damn name. God, he was in the Rumble. Oh my God, I'm having this going.
Jack Dillinger?
Jack Dillinger.
Yeah.
No, that's Ty Dillinger.
Oh, Ty Dillinger. That's
Son of a bitch.
Ty Dillinger.
That's not who I'm talking about, though, either.
Oh, wait,
Fuck.
your boy with the umbrella.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't remember his name either. I can't remember his name.
Jack Gallagher.
Jack Gallagher. Oh, that's right.
All right.
Jack Gallagher.
You can't say cruiserweights without bringing him up. Crowd loves him. He has such a unique character as the Englishman than you ever want to see. I mean, he's entertainment by himself.
He is entertainment just for being pale white.
He is actually, we have actually found someone that is whiter
Than Sheamus.
than the
Yes.
great white whale,
Right.
Sheamus.
Right. Dude, even my wife, was watching the Royal Rumble with me, and even she was entertained by Jack Gallagher.
Oh, it's great, dude. He's just funny.
Dude, the whole thing with the umbrella, where
Yeah,
he hit
Jericho,
Jericho and then
yeah.
he twists.
Hey,
It was great.
Yeah, he's funny. He eventually is going to get a title shot, but he's one of those guys who I think could help just booster the cruiserweight division altogether, and doesn't even necessarily need to be a champion for a while.
Right. Right.
He's that great on his own. He doesn't need a title.
I completely agree. But yeah, he was definitely very entertaining, especially when he went on the top, on the turnbuckle, and
He jumped like Mary Poppins.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was hysterical. I loved it.
Shout out to Jackie Boy.
But so yeah, that match between Rich Swann and Neville, that was Neville pretty much whipped his ass, or whatever. But and he won the cruiserweight title. So and then there was Cena and Styles.
The thing that, of course, hurt my heart a little bit was seeing AJ Styles lose.
I know he's your boy.
Yeah, that's my boy.
He is your boy.
I appreciate the fact that Cena has now tied Ric Flair's record.
I do appreciate that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I forgot.
But I fully think he deserves it.
He does deserve it. I mean,
really-
he carried
really
the company on his back for 10 plus years, and whether you like him, you hate him in between, and whether you say that was Vince's handpicked guy, well, he carried it well.
He did.
He put the company on his back, he and Randy Orton, and they took us up into the next generation. And the next generation is here.
Right. I mean, just knowing that he tied Ric Flair's record for 16-time champion. That's
well, we witnessed
that's
history.
awesome.
We witnessed history.
We witnessed history.
It was one of those matches when my boy lost, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, okay,
something good came out of it.
Right, something good did come out of it. Another thing I wanted to bring up. I mean, they had last year match of the year candidate, if not one match of the year. They actually did not do the Slammies last year because AJ Styles would have won at least 4 or 5, so they didn't want to run away with everything.
Right.
So, but one of them for match of the year last year was the SummerSlam match between AJ Styles and John Cena, which is where he quote unquote retired Cena, which of course we all know he wasn't going to. But I believe that this match, with all the near falls and all the times they had to use the attitude adjustment and the grapples and the submissions and the Styles Clash and other people's moves, like the figure 4 towards the end.
Right.
I think it actually was a better match than that SummerSlam match.
Yes, I will agree with that.
And an early favorite for match of the year already in January.
Right. And I also liked how when John Cena did the AA, and he did that little thing where he like kind of flipped on AJ Styles and picked him up again, and then did it again. Yeah. I was like, look at Cena with some some moves like that.
Not only did it show his strength, but it added an element to his finisher. Even though he did it twice.
Right.
But it added an element to his finisher.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yes, it did.
Seeing him go for the figure 4 and seeing AJ turn it around. The fact that you had the figure 4 leg lock used in this matchup.
Right, yeah.
And then have Cena win.
Yes.
To tie Ric Flair was poetic justice to the max.
And what's funny is I realized that I think maybe like a day or two after the Rumble, after that match, I was like, oh shit, freaking Cena.
Right.
Cena used the figure 4. I was like, I didn't put 2 together. I was like, damn, that's cool.
Yeah, dude. You were sitting there and you were watching history be made, and if he's gonna take it from Rick, of course he hasn't beaten Rick's record.
Correct.
I think he will. I mean, he has a while to go still, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cena was okay with just tying his record.
Oh yeah, I no doubt. I mean, it's an accomplishment in itself, tying it.
Absolutely.
To share that with Flair.
I think he certainly may say, you know what, I respect Rick enough. He may not be another time champion, man. I mean, it's hard to imagine that this may be the last time you'll ever see John frickin' Cena, Super Cena, Fruity Pebbles, whatever you want to call him, hoist that title above his head.
Right.
Now, of course, he has a title run, but I'm talking about another time.
Right.
I mean, that seems a little surreal.
It is. And, if there are any plans for him to actually beat the record, that is all in Vince McMahon's hands. That is all up to him. When you think about it.
It's up to Vince McMahon, but Cena has a say to the fact of he may be one of only 3 or 4 people that can tell Vince no.
Right, yeah.
Himself, Triple H, Taker. Shit, that might be it.
Yeah.
That really might be it.
Yeah.
Maybe Brock to a certain extent, but maybe obviously, Mr. The Rock Johnson can do as he pleases. But I think John Cena is the guy that I think Vince would listen to in that situation.
Right. But, honestly, congrats to John Cena for tying that record,
He deserves it.
He does. I agree. I completely agree. So after that match was the Royal Rumble match, which again, like I said before, this was, it was a disappointment.
It was a disappointment compared to what we're used to.
Yes. Okay, yeah.
What you're used to in a Royal Rumble match is legend from the past.
Sure, yeah.
And debuts.
Yes.
Those are the 2 big things. Debuts or returns.
Right, right.
Are the things that you enjoy about the Royal Rumble. And that's not talking about when you get down to the Final Four. The Final Four is what it is. But, we did have a couple surprises
Yeah.
So, the fact that WWE did pull the trigger at number 10 and send out the perfect 10.
Yes.
Ty Dillinger.
Yes.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, you had to put him at 10. Had to.
If he was coming at 10, you know.
Right.
That was great. I thought that was such a great move and such a pat on the back to somebody who's been with NXT forever.
Right.
And
right.
to finally get the nod. And he may not even be a full-time WWE guy yet. But just to get the nod into the Royal Rumble. And the fans, I mean, even before it hit, you know, it had the countdown for number 10 for, you know, and they were chanting 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. It was incredible, dude.
Yeah.
For somebody who has never shown his face on WWE programming.
Right.
Much less anywhere else but NXT. And that was impressive.
Very impressive. Very impressive. But, you know, just, I guess a couple of things, as to why I thought it was, you know, pretty disappointing. You know, I thought they had quite a few wasted entrants.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them being Kalisto. I mean, you know, and no offense to any of these guys that I'm listing, you know, I don't think they don't deserve to be in the Rumble, but
Right.
I just think, you know, those entrants could have been used towards, you know, a couple more NXT guys.
Right.
Or even, you know, legends or, you know, like you said, returning stars.
Right.
You know?
It seemed, and we've talked about this before, but it seemed like the perfect setup for Finn Balor to come out.
Yes. Dude, I was convinced.
So was I.
He was number 30.
So was I.
I was convinced.
So was I, man. So that set up the hate. But the thing about Finn that worries you now, is he healthy? Or are they just waiting?
I
hope they're just waiting.
I actually read something today that, you know, they had a lot of parts in his shoulder and his pecs that he hurt.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just like one thing or anything. It was
a major injury.
You know?
Absolutely.
It was pretty major. So I would think he would more than likely be back for Mania. The question is, where do they fit him in? Where do you plug in Finn Balor for Mania?
Finn Balor deserves to be, not that they'll do it, but Finn Balor deserves to be in the championship match for the Raw brand at WrestleMania. He did not lose it. Plus, he is a main eventer. I mean, he's a main eventer in his sleep.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But who's it going to be against? You know, and that brings up a lot of questions and this and that. But what if they go a different route and they don't put Finn? Like, where does he's somewhere, but where is he if he's not in the main event scene?
That is the question. That's,
you know, so
that's something that is
definitely
up in the air. We don't know that yet.
I'm sure we'll have more news on that next time we see y'all in episode 4.
Yeah. You know, as it looks like at this point, it looks like, you know, I've read this, that, they're trying to push the main event for Mania to be Goldberg and Lesnar. I mean, that's the plan right now.
I still dislike it, but I understand it.
Right.
I guess it's all promotional and everything, but they don't have to be the main event to actually promote it.
No.
You know, I don't know. I always believe that the main event at WrestleMania deserves to be between two people, what if they would do a 4-way, whatever. But between people who are, full-timers, who are there 52 weeks a year and traveling and, you know, doing sometimes 3 shows a week. You know, those are the guys that deserve that spotlight.
Yes. Yes. Completely agree.
As far as Rumble goes, before I start yelling about Reigns, one thing we did see that I thought was pretty interesting was Luke Harper turning on Bray Wyatt.
Oh, that was great.
That was pretty.
That was great.
That was pretty interesting, man. That was pretty interesting.
I loved it. Honestly, I think Luke Harper can really do great stuff just by himself.
Dude, all 3 of them can.
I mean, the dude's
the Wyatts,
big.
all 3 of them.
The dude, oh yeah.
All 3 of them.
You know, the dude's big, but he moves like
he is, and
almost like I'm gonna say like a cruiserweight, but he moves pretty fast for his size, you know?
And this is in no way, and this is gonna sound awful, in no way disrespect to my hero, Mark Calloway, The Undertaker. He's basically The Undertaker with speed, with moves, in all honesty, with He's more athletic than The Undertaker.
Now, when you say he's
Size,
like
but
The
more athletic.
Undertaker just because of how big he is?
Because of how big he is.
Right,
Because of how big he is, and he does do the boot every once in a while, so I guess that
he does.
kind of reminds me of him as well. But as far as size and the way he kind of acts, I mean, being part of the Wyatt family, kind of spooky and stuff like that.
Right.
But would he keep up the moniker if he went off on his own? And I guess that's one thing that we would have to discuss in more detail at some point.
Right.
But the whole Roman Reigns thing, like how exactly were your feelings? Where you hear 30 hit, you're the last entrant in the Royal Rumble, and then you don't even hear, Sierra Hotel Indigo Echo. You don't hear that.
Right, yeah. No.
That'd be fine. Let all three of them come in. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
It was Roman Reigns by himself.
I don't want to say I was mad. I mean, I didn't agree with it at all. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't mad. I was just kind of like, why? Like, well, why? That's all I can do. You know what I'm saying?
That's basically all we can do. It's almost like they were trying to piss off the fans. It's almost like we know we're going to have Roman Reigns come out at 30, and they're going to be furious. They're going to hate this. Why not have him come out at 28, man?
Right.
Why have him come out at 30?
Or just don't have him in there at all. How about that one?
Well, that. But if you have to have him, why at the last pick? You're putting too much pressure on a guy that doesn't need it.
Right.
To carry your load, so to speak. And it was cool having a little stare down with Undertaker that he did. That was actually kind of interesting. I mean, seeing him as the mercenary, seeing Reigns as the mercenary that comes in, kicks ass, and leaves. That's awesome. If they go that route, I'll kind of understand it. But right now...
Well, and, that's probably why they put him at 30, to help set up for him and Taker at Mania.
And I wouldn't be against it. I really wouldn't. I thought in the beginning I would be. I think that would be fine. He would have to have the persona of, I don't give a damn what anyone thinks, ever, at any point in time. He has to separate himself from anybody that was an ally. And that includes Seth. And Roman. And Dean. Of course, Dean's on SmackDown, but still and all.
Right.
He needs to separate himself from all of that, be a one-man army, like he should have been in the beginning. And that's it. Have a chip on your shoulder, do what you gotta do.
Well, automatically, going up against Taker, he will, right then and there, be a heel.
Yes.
He will be considered the heel.
He would most definitely be considered. Especially, you want him to come across as a cocky, arrogant son of a bitch.
Right.
To a legend. That would be perfect booking.
Oh, yeah.
And,
I think,
go with it.
I think to an extent, people might still boo Reigns just because he's going up against Taker.
The fans are weird nowadays.
But I think they'll kind of understand, like, yes, this is what you need to do with Reigns. This is exactly what you need to do with him.
Yes. And
correct booking can really...
Can change,
yes.
But I really feel like a lot of the people who are booing Reigns are booing what they're trying to turn him into, or what they have turned him into. He goes from being the silent member of the Shield, who would, like I was saying, just kick ass and leave.
Yeah.
Then they try to turn him into this happy-go-lucky, joking, John Cena-esque person, which I don't think his character needed to be at any point in time.
Right.
So, if that changes, and not necessarily a full heel turn, but a mercenary type guy, I think that would change the fans' input and thought of Roman Reigns.
Right.
But there's one more thing we got to discuss. We've discussed how the Rumble was disappointing. We discussed Perfect 10. We've discussed the Wyatts breakup, maybe non-breakup. We've discussed Roman Reigns sucking.
Now wait, I don't know where you're going with this, but there's one thing I want to say. One thing I did enjoy quite a lot in the Rumble match was Lesnar just being dominated by Goldberg. Because a buddy of mine, he loves Brock Lesnar. And yes, I'm talking about you, Ryan. He loves Brock Lesnar.
I actually almost glossed over that fact about Brock, and I'm so glad you brought that back up.
Yeah, see, I didn't know where you're going with this last thing, but I was like, I gotta get this in real quick.
I will get to that part, but I forgot.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
When Goldberg came out, and Brock everyone else in the ring was just laid out, being in Suplex City and stuff. Dude, freaking, Goldberg comes out, they do the little stare down, He spears Lesnar, and then like a couple of seconds later, just throws out Lesnar, and like the whole time, Ryan's just like, all right, come on, Lesnar, come on. You know, and dude, it was so funny to see his reaction. So great. Oh, I loved it.
To be a guy who grew up watching WCW, growing up watching the Monday Night Wars in the 90s, and to see Goldberg, our hero, come back and do what he's done thus far. When everybody else predicted him to get dominated by Lesnar, the opposite has happened.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that Brock won't win the final chapter, but
I think he will.
I think he will.
He will.
The opposite
I can pretty much tell you right now, he will. He will.
Well, if he doesn't, he's not a beast anymore.
Right.
If you got conquered one time and once in a Rumble, but
right.
You get conquered technically 3 times, and what the hell? What right do you have to say? Oh, this is my client, Brock Lesnar, the Beast incarnate. Well, apparently he's not a beast anymore. He's a little puppy. He's a little
like
bitch.
A bitch. The bitch incarnate, you know?
That's nice.
But, yeah, that was one thing I wanted to kind of throw out there. You know, I completely love Goldberg. Just shutting down
my favorite
anything and everything Brock
Goldberg,
Lesnar. You know, I think it's funny.
Hey, who's next, I guess.
Right.
As far as, I guess the one last thing I wanted to say about the Rumble is the thing that I feel like really has got glossed over a lot. And not talked about, not only between us, but in just general wrestling talk, is the fact that we haven't even discussed the winner of the Royal Rumble.
You're absolutely right.
We were more enthralled with the fact that Roman Reigns got booed out of the damn building than the fact that Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer, Slytherin, is your Royal Rumble winner for 2017.
Okay, so if you take out Roman Reigns in the equation of the Royal Rumble, do you like Randy Orton as the winner?
Not at first. I think it's going to set up something that we can't see, and I love that. I love not knowing what the hell's going on.
I think I know what's going to happen.
I like that. Well, what do you think's going to happen?
I think it'll be Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania.
Man, it'd be great.
I'm telling you,
dude, I'm almost tearing up a little bit. Like that would be fantastic.
I think that's going to happen, dude.
I think both guys. I mean, Randy, he's got pushes and upon pushes upon pushes. But both guys really deserve that type of match. And Bray Wyatt deserves to finally win a damn pay-per-view again.
Yes.
Make Bray Wyatt great again.
Right. Make Bray Wyatt great again. But I don't know. I guess a certain part of me almost feels like Orton winning it was, I mean, it's not bad.
No,
not bad, but I don't know. I think they could have given it to someone that could have used a push. You know?
Yeah, no, I would have. I had my dark horse as Sami Zayn, and how great would that have been? You know, but the thing we often forget is whoever wins the Royal Rumble, is part of a storyline that hasn't happened yet.
Right.
You know, a storyline they have in mind. And I think we overlook that sometimes, although we hope, for better things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think we do overlook that sometimes. But the fact of Randy winning, is a little bit of a surprise, but at the same time, Randy Orton, they had the odds to win the Rumble. Randy Orton was in the top 3.
Yeah, he was.
Since they came out with the odds.
Yeah, he was.
You had Goldberg, Lesnar drop out of the top 3 this night. Randy Orton was constantly in the top 3.
I don't know. I guess maybe it's not as surprising as I'm making it to be, but I don't know.
No, it is. It is.
Yeah, you think?
No,
okay,
it is.
all right.
It absolutely is. I'm just saying the odds. I don't know if they were talking to Vince or what, but the odds did have Randy in the top 3. And I remember looking at him saying, "How the hell they figure Randy Orton's going?" No, you have Taker, you have Brock, you have Strowman, you have Goldberg.
Right.
No.
Right.
No way. Finn may be coming back.
Dude, I'm telling
no way in hell.
Dude, Finn, that would have been perfect.
Yes.
Yes,
it would have been.
You couldn't have done any better than Finn Balor winning that and him being number 30.
Oh, it would have been perfect.
That would
have been absolutely perfect, man.
But, so yeah, the Rumble match itself, you know, it wasn't the best, but, you know, it is what it is. I mean, at least we had something to talk about with Roman Reigns being 30.
We certainly did, man. We certainly did.
But and so that really does it for the Royal Rumble. Now we're gonna move on to a little bit of Raw, to Monday Night Raw. So just like what I said earlier, Lesnar challenged Goldberg to a match at WrestleMania. I think we kind of all saw that one coming.
All four saw it coming, yeah. It's good that they are at least acknowledging it on Raw and not just waiting. So I think that's good. That gives you time to develop a bigger storyline than it already is.
Yeah.
So that's a smart move. That's a smart move by everybody involved.
Right.
So,
and then so here's what I'm thinking. It'll be Goldberg and Kevin Owens at Fastlane.
yeah.
And then Goldberg will win a title. And then that'll set up Goldberg and Lesnar at Mania. And Lesnar will win.
So that will also allow Lesnar to kind of gain back momentum. Not only by beating Goldberg, but by getting the WWE Championship.
Yes.
That would be a very perfect way of doing it. If you want to retain Brock Lesnar, because the fact is, Brock ain't going nowhere.
Right.
Brock's screwed with MMA right now.
Right.
He ain't going nowhere. So that's, it's a good decision. I think it's going to be a hell of a match. I don't think it's going to be a 10-second match.
Right. Yeah. That would be bad.
Yes. That at this point that would be bad.
That would not be best for business.
Not at this point. No.
No.
But
so yeah, that happened. And then something very, very unfortunate happened on Raw.
Very bad for business.
Very bad for business. Seth Rollins re-injured his knee that he just had surgery on from the attack by Samoa Joe.
The wrestling gods, I swear, have just not been that great over these past couple of days.
Years.
Past years. But dude, I mean, we finally get Samoa Joe in the WWE. Finally, seemingly, is Triple H's hired hand. Well, not seemingly, he was. And seemingly is going to be in a match with Seth Rollins, a.k.a. Tyler Black from Ring of Honor, who he also faced. They know each other from Ring of Honor. You about to get a Ring of Honor past match in WWE. Mm-hmm. That would have been great. And to what both guys have made of their career, it would have been fantastic. You finally get Samoa Joe in the damn WWE, and Seth Rollins gets hurt.
Well, I tell you, I guess when Triple H said he was, when he said the what do you call him? The Destroyer?
The Destroyer, yeah.
He said, well, the Destroyer's not far behind.
He actually changed his Twitter handle.
I read that. Yeah, I read that. Pretty funny. I dig it.
It was cool, and I think you brought this up earlier. It was cool that both guys, Seth and Samoa Joe, when they tweeted about the injury, stayed in character.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man, how much better does that make this rivalry seem when Seth's finally healthy again? I mean,
it'll be great. It'll be awesome. But that also draws into question what direction they'll take when Seth Rollins gets healthy again, which I think that they said, I think I read something 4 to 6 weeks.
I read 8.
Or maybe 8, yes. Yeah, I also read 8.
I read 8, I think.
Maybe that was an updated, version.
Which you hope that maybe he can come back before that, because 8 weeks, you're knocking on Rumble. I mean, you're knocking on Mania. Hopefully it won't take to Rumble.
Mania's in what?
April.
Right, yeah. I think they said like
60
days, 60-something days now?
Something like that. Yeah, I think it's
like
about 60 days from Royal Rumble, I believe.
So yeah, that'll be rough for him.
He worked his ass off to come back after he destroyed his knee. I mean, if you ever seen that video, when he's jumping off the top rope to throw somebody through a table, and his knee, I mean, just...
I actually didn't see it.
Dude, it was
bad?
disgusting. It bent it away it shouldn't have been.
Is it worse than Sid Vicious in WCW?
No.
I don't think...
No.
I don't think there's a worse...
I don't know how that
wrestling
happened.
Injury video than that.
I don't know how that happened. Like, when you look at it over and over again, which I have, sadly, I don't know how Sid Vicious did that. Like, he was just coming down,
and just landed
something
wrong.
Happened and
just landed wrong, dude.
Just like that dude, if you remember years ago, during the March Madness, that guy for Louisville.
And his bone popped out. Yeah.
It was similar type of thing. He was just coming
down.
Dude,
the whole bench just,
dude.
You could see the face. Oh, man.
Kevin Ware, I believe, was the guy's name. So hopefully we'll have him as a guest on the next podcast. But if we don't, it's because he's busy.
Right.
If we don't, it's because he's actually feeding starving children in Malalia.
He may be. Yeah. He may be doing that, you know. And if he is, good for him.
But hey, I'm not doing it. Somebody's got to do it.
More power to him.
I have enough trouble feeding my 10, you know.
But speaking of guests, we may actually have some guests on the show for our next episode when we.
Oh, okay. Is that so?
When we do Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks.
Correct. That will be our next show. Elimination Chamber. We're looking very, very forward to it. It's going to actually be for the title in the Elimination Chamber, from what I understand.
Right.
For Cena's title.
Yes.
So, it's going to be a hell of a lot to discuss, and SmackDown is the better show, so can't wait to see how they thrill us, you know?
I just wish SmackDown was longer. Was 3 hours, just like Raw.
You know, I see that as such an issue. Just, SmackDown, like I said, I don't think I'm alone with that. I think a lot of people do believe SmackDown's a better show, especially with the returning John Cena. Mm-hmm. And Raw is longer. Like, you split up the group.
Yeah.
You split up into Raw and SmackDown. Why in God's name is Raw 3 hours long?
I don't know.
Or make SmackDown 3 then. You know, make it
That's
even.
What I'm saying.
Exactly.
Make SmackDown 3.
Exactly. Make it even.
Yeah, that would be my vote.
To me. You're not an equal brand.
Right.
If you don't have equal hours. I mean, that's crazy.
And I like how the SmackDown was called SmackDown Live.
Yes. I think that was a little, not hint, a little hint. Well, okay, hint to the past. When WCW Nitro started making big time bucks, they advertised Nitro Live. I don't know if you watched any of the Monday Night War stuff. You know what? I think I do remember what you were talking about. That's how Eric Bischoff helped get them to beating WWE or WWF at the time. They would advertise WCW Nitro Live. Well, Monday Night Raw wasn't
live at that time.
So they were able to advertise, and he even
spoiled Raw. Yeah, dude. Yeah. I remember that. Nitro would come on at 7:57 every Monday.
They would come on early
and they would spoil the results for Raw. I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Underhanded as all shit, but it worked until he got a little too big-headed and destroyed WCW because of himself. So, but that we could do a whole episode on that alone, I guarantee you.
Right.
And probably will.
Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, we're done for now. Until next time.
He's just doing me a solid. I really have to go to the bathroom, folks. It's been a long time. He's doing me a solid. He's just, we ended a little early today.
Hopefully it comes out solid too.
The thing is, I've been struggling with IBS and Crohn's. And, I didn't take my meds, but it actually may not be that. It may be the half dozen churros I ate earlier. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure. It might have been the Cheez-Its. I don't know. Maybe bad Cheez-Its. I have no idea. Anyway, I want to run off to the bathroom, folks. Thank y'all so much, Mr. Jeremy.
And, Jimmy, thank you again. And yeah, these pretzels are making me thirsty. That's all I know. I got Jimmy again. I got him again. I got him with another Seinfeld reference. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Again, we'll catch y'all back for Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks. And like I said, we may actually have some special guests for y'all. Maybe not too special, but, we'll have guests for sure. So, but yeah, just check it out. And thank y'all.